Hey everybody, welcome to Rockn Talkn with my fabulous co-host, Lips Anvil, Steve Kudlow of Anvil, of course. And we're going to be talking to Greg Christian, Vince Edwards, and the fabulous Dan Varga. It's a great interview. I hope you enjoy it. So get your beer, get your joints, just sit back, kick back, and enjoy the show, everybody. Thanks so much for liking and supporting Kelly V. Nice. Hi. Nice to finally meet you. It looks like Lips is connecting. Everybody will probably come in slowly. I think Greg Christian is having some dinosaur tech issues on his end, he says.
Yeah.
Have you ever used Zoom before?
Yeah, I use it quite a bit.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I guess our topic of discussion today that Lips sent over was a very disturbing picture recently of a guy wearing a pro Auschwitz shirt.
Uh-huh.
And something that Sharon Osbourne commented on, and I know it's a kind of a hot issue right now in the States.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you face that with your band? Like,
no.
No, you don't have issues getting play anywhere, or
What, getting played?
yeah, like in the States, I found it was harder to put metal into black neighborhoods or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Um, yeah, I mean, metal is a different animal, right?
Hi,
Lips, what's going on, man?
Lex.
I had my camera set up to record my amp.
Oh, shoot. Well, I think people will start joining in slowly. This is Dan. You're from Spengali out of Hamilton, right?
Yeah, and also from Varga. I know Lips Anvil is one of the reasons why I started to play the drums.
Okay.
I saw Anvil when I was in grade 9, and they blew my fucking mind.
Oh, man, I bet. Oh.
Yeah, and I've spent every drum lick that I play, I rip off Rob Reiner. Unapologetically.
It's a good place to get it from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear that on my child.
It's sort of a filter system. It's like the best of Ian Pace, the best of John Bonham.
Yeah.
Like Cozy Powell, all those little things that you hear those guys do. Rob does it too, but maybe all together. And then you're going, wow, that's how the fuck, what?
Yeah. I recently watched your School Love video from Japan, and it was fucking wild. I'm a huge Anvil fan, and I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now if it weren't for Anvil.
Oh, wow, that's so beautiful.
Nice.
Are you crying, Lips?
No.
Aw, not even a little. It looks like
not even a little. Sorry.
That's all good, man.
Looks like Greg Christian.
Whatever. It's just.
Hey, I'm here.
You're here. Click the video.
I figured this out. And I'm wearing this mask not because I'm paranoid about catching corona here by myself. I'm in the middle of some dental work and my face is all fucked up right now.
Cool.
All right. Well, if you don't
I'm
want
not going to use the same excuse, man. What the hell?
Well, it's just because I'm ugly, you know. Here, let me take those off.
Right. I could do that too.
hit the video. All right. Oh shoot. And Vince, my buddy Vince Edwards from the Backstage Pass. So whether my buddy who's stuck in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, can get a good Wi-Fi signal, I'm not sure. So can you click the video, or do you want to, Greg?
Am I not on?
No, right at the bottom left, there's a little like video.
See, I'm doing this on a phone. All I'm seeing is who's talking.
Oh, right.
There should be a little button though that just says allow video. But either way,
there's not any buttons.
No. I'm not sure how to do it on a phone. Are you using a phone, Dan?
No.
Nope.
No, I'm using a computer too, so I don't know.
Oh, so I don't even need to wear this stupid mask. Okay, so you can't even see me.
Awesome. Where?
No, I just installed Zoom like right now. I was just messaging with Kelly saying that I totally forgot. Last time I did one of these, I did it over at my son and his mom's house using one of their computers. I've never, I've never been in a Zoom meeting before.
Oh, wow. Well, we're honored that you're doing the first one with us, brother. It's been a few weeks trying to get you on the show. I really appreciate you doing it. Where
And you
are
can't
you right
see
now?
me? There's a little square at the top left that says record, and there's like a box. I tried to click on it. It's not. Oh wait, buttons came up. Hang on.
Technical
You
difficulties.
got to touch the screen.
I'm like Grandpa here with the
Go
with the
ahead.
tech.
Oh,
Wait. Hang on. Cancel. Share. Oh wait.
He's got it. It's
Well,
coming.
there it is.
Hello, guys.
There he
there
is.
you are.
Hey,
Hey, man.
It's so good to
Oh,
join
now I
you,
need to
sir.
put the mask on.
Yeah,
And
no,
the
no.
boy,
Hello, Kelly.
voice
Hello,
ever. It's
dear.
Vince. Hey, Vince. How are you? Click on
Good,
your
good.
video if you don't mind.
What's that, hon?
Click on the video at the bottom left, I think, because we can't see your face.
They cannot see my face, Michael.
I
I'm talking to my crew. Sorry,
know. I
guys.
wish I had a crew. All
Well,
right.
how's
Zoom kind of sucks on a phone.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
it's
doing this with
it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky.
I'm doing this from a 4K camera with a professional crew that's shit in the bed right now. So
We
I
got to
apologize.
test. We got to.
I'm doing this on my old iPhone 6. I'm trying to figure it out myself.
Look, good to see you, Lips, man. It's been years.
And
This.
where do I know you from?
Well, probably the Fillmore, the Warfield, the Stone. I've provided stacks and racks and mixing consoles for you guys on multiple occasions. But it's been, God, it was back in the day. You know, I've been doing this for 38 years. So, and
Okay.
probably,
So
yeah.
okay. You what did you do sound for us, or were there at Stone when we played there?
Exactly. You know, what the hell was it? Bobby Corona, the Corona father and son team over there. Would pull us in when they had somebody special. They needed us to beef up their system. You know, some of these house systems are a little wanting.
So you probably did us back in the day too.
And I'm sorry, I don't recognize you, my brother. Who are you?
Oh, Testament.
Oh shit!
It's great Christian, man.
Christian, I'm sorry, man. I've just done too many
I should've
shows.
shaved here.
Yeah.
I haven't left the house in a fucking month, so you know that's where I'm at.
Well, you know, that's probably the best bet with the way things are going right now. I know we're keeping it kind of close to. I kind of call my house my shop, and then the other place where I sleep, I just show up once in a while. But yeah, I absolutely have enjoyed you. You guys put on a hell of a show. I love you guys. You're an amazing band, and I've definitely been to at least one or two of your gigs, providing some kind of support for the audio.
That's really cool, man. There's such an amazing 6 degrees of separation on my page. Everybody I know seems to know Anvil, loves Anvils, worked for them, opened for them, some kind of influence. So that's really cool.
Well, as you know, Anvil has a footprint, and they have been around so long and they've accomplished so much that it's hard to be in this business and not have worked for Anvil on one way, shape, or form. And their shows were always so good. So, you know, in my job, you don't often get to work with bands you like. You just work with who needs the work, and you take the check. But when we had Anvil gigs, we were like, cool, Anvil, you know. So, and Testament,
Sure.
just the same. It's, you know,
It's actually
serious badass.
it's really fascinating to hear about things so many years later.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we're talking about a gig in San Francisco in 1989.
That's correct.
You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? What the fuck?
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, well, you know, you guys are very memorable. You bring the big rock show, and I remember that being a really good night, a really fun show.
But the thing is, the very, very sad aspect of it, that was our first time ever in San Francisco, and really one and only.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
until like 2009. Like,
well, you know, I know. Yeah, my memory is that you definitely passed
Very
through.
good.
I've done at least a couple of shows with you, and I remember you being always very approachable, and you know, knew what you wanted in your rig, what your monitor mix needed to be, and yeah, always enjoyable. And I can't say that for
Oh
all
yeah, I
artists.
know that, but I mean, it's been a long, hard road to be
Yeah,
able to
brother.
go to the United States on any
Yes.
consistency at all. Usually, there's 10-year gaps.
Yeah, no
And
doubt about it.
that is such a sad thing, man. And I'm seeing that so much, how hard it is to get from Canada to America. But also,
I think it's harder the other way.
Nowadays, that's for sure.
well, yeah, we
You
know
guys
why
don't
you
want us
fuckers in
American
here.
criminals.
we had already created quite a reputation for ourselves, and I'm having this funny feeling that's going downhill rapidly lately. So we might not be welcome for a few next little while.
Trust me, you don't want to come here now.
What's changed? Oh, to America?
Yeah.
You're referring to America? Yeah, you couldn't be more correct about that. So yeah, let us sort some shit out real quick down here, and we'll get it together hopefully sooner than later.
That's, I think,
real quick.
real quick. Yeah. That's
Euphemism.
Nothing to see here. Move on.
Move along.
This is
But hey, it's warm
definitely
and sunny here.
a car wreck that rammed into a dumpster fire, and we're just doing our best to kind of get through it and get to the other side. So there's nothing more you can really do as an American citizen, but wait it out.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Watching it all from here it's bizarre. It really is. I mean, you're watching bits and pieces and glimpses, and you're not sure what's the truth,
Well,
what's the lie, what's fabrication, what's the real truth. Is there truth?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a little lowdown on it. Whatever it is that you're seeing on the news, the official story on everything is not truth. Like, I don't know what the truth is.
Isn't that always the case?
No, but it's been the case it's been building for the last couple of years. And at this point in time, I don't know what the truth is, but I know whatever it is that they're saying is not it.
So did Wednesday happen, or was that fake news?
That was some real shit.
You know what that was, dude? I've seen video of Capitol Police moving barricades, waving people through.
That's
that
right.
whole thing was a smoke and mirrors show. They set those people up.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate point of view. I would say that what I've found in doing my many shows, that's rock and roll shows, or my actual talk show, or my podcast, and having to mix with all types of folks with different points of view, that this is right down to my father, my family members, and people that I hold very close, that the way I navigate the different points of view is by staying away from politics publicly.
Yes.
I have my own point of views, but we're going to start getting into what channel's got the right news and which doesn't, what we see.
None of them do.
I would just say it's so hard to, I have some specific views on the thing, but it's not
very convoluted.
I feel like it's not polite. I tell my guests when they come on my show, we don't talk about pandemic policy, politics, religion, or abortion, because I was taught that shit's just not polite, because you never know who you're going to offend. I got my points of views on those things, and I can
totally understand that
and govern my day-to-day life based on that. But because what we really are, and what I believe we've been brought together to do today, is represent rock and roll and the different aspects that we hold in our different positions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my point.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
Right on, brother.
And I'm on rockmetaltalk.com on my audio podcast. We are not allowed to talk about politics, religion, abortion, all those controversial issues you just mentioned. But on this show, we can. We can say whatever the fuck we want. We can do whatever the fuck we want, and I fucking love it. There's nobody controlling your censorship. But it's also, it's so hot. It's so emotionally charged that people are a little bit afraid to speak their mind because of what it might do to their fan base, create controversy, flashback, whatever. Yeah. So if you are afraid of that, then keep silent, but I wish you wouldn't, because you guys are the ones that can make the difference. You guys are spreading it around to the media, and people want to hear what you have to say. I think that
we can't. Nobody can make a difference with this. I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that. All it does is opens you up to, like he said, to offending people and to turning people against you. And
it polarizes all your following.
Exactly.
And you're isolating people that they're all good people on both sides.
I agree with
heard that before, but there's a truth to that.
Absolutely.
No matter what you talk about politically, there are points on both sides, whether you want to admit it or not. The Canadians' perspective, all you people are the same.
Yeah.
You're all Americans, whether you vote for a Trump or for a Hillary Clinton or a George Bush. It was your own business. We just kind of watch. That's all it meant.
Sure.
I have no say, and therefore I have really no opinion. I just kind of.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. There's,
I think the biggest issue that divides Americans right now is money and poverty, and this dying middle class lifestyle.
Yeah, then that's a Wall Street issue and some other big corporation things. But the thing that keeps me up at night is the venues that are closing. The fact that I've got millions of dollars worth of equipment, I'm sitting here with a quarter inch of dust on it, and 280 employees that aren't working. So what I'd like to see is some cooperation, some leadership, and just get us friggin' vaccinated, make this thing go away.
We
so
lost
I can.
Lips. All right.
Go forward and put on some damn rock shows. That's what I do.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
venues,
that's all I know. Some of
venues
my
are
favorite.
closing left and right here. It's horrible.
That's
Same Canada.
just shameful. This is so many of us rely. Some people play video games, some people play golf. I play fucking rock and roll. I put on shows, and that's where I get my love and my inspiration from. And I feel like it's the situation hasn't been handled very well, regardless of who's doing what.
It's been handled horribly.
And it's not just a little bit of an imposition. It's a straight up fucking with my career and my life and my investment.
Well, let me ask, where are you located?
San Francisco. I'm in the Bay Area in California.
Oh, okay, well, me too. Yeah, it's horrible. Everything's closed here.
We're in complete lockdown, right? Like if we socialize outside our family unit, we could be fine.
I struggle with that fine bullshit. I got a little libertarian streak in me.
I could agree with that, definitely. Libertarian streak.
Do you agree with this, Stan, that maybe the American just infringement on any rights and people will freak out whether it's kind of smart or not?
There are definitely some people that will.
Yeah, I'm not American, so I can't speak for that. But I know that, as Lip said, as being an observer, and I've toured the U.S. several times, and you know what? I've loved it there. I want to move to Florida.
Oh yeah,
I love the U.S. and
beautiful state. They got a hell of a rock scene down there.
They sure do.
And they're not shut down like we are either.
No. And this is another issue. I guess we might as well touch on it just a little bit. I think Lips and I are on the same wave of thinking about vaccines are important, and we need to stay healthy and do that, right, Lips? We're kind of pro on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of paranoia about the vaccine, a lot of false information, and a lot of people making assumptions when they have not done any research whatsoever. Everybody becomes an expert. They're spouting and parroting everything that somebody else told them, rather than ever bothering to even Google it and look it up. They don't even do that.
Yeah, it's so true.
Oh, yeah, no, true.
Well, that's
I
what
mean-
happens when you politicize everything. It turns out politics doesn't have to be in every part of your life. It doesn't. That got changed in the last little while, and this is on both sides of the argument. But really, listen, we're living in a world free from. I had a relative when I was growing up who was all bent and broken up because they had polio before Jonas Salk invented the polio vaccine, and
Yeah.
I didn't, and not one other person in my whole life had to deal with that because they came up with an effective treatment to deal with it globally.
Yes.
And same with smallpox.
I had a teacher that had polio when I was a kid, and she walked with crutches and a brace and everything. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and so if I'm on when it comes to medicines, I'm about the science part of it, and as far as I can tell, I think that people were a little off put about how quickly they rushed the thing out, but that doesn't mean that what took 5 years ago, 20 years ago to do something that with the technology and the advancements that have happened.
Misconception, though. That's a major misconception because the truth is that they've been working on coronaviruses ever since SARS.
True.
Well,
True.
yeah,
They just don't have the 10 years.
We're talking about almost, well, at least 15 years ago. They started working on this.
Well, H1N1 was also a coronavirus. The coronavirus is not a one thing; it's a category of viruses. It's many things. There's many versions of the coronavirus.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we don't let that trip you up, brother. It's again, this is why this is not necessarily something that we shouldn't talk about it, but it's a subject that has to be careful. And I'm pretty sure what we're all good at is music and putting on shows. And there's people that do other things that's what they do, and they've spent their whole life doing. Again, I'm almost 40 years in this business, and I feel like I can confidently and capably speak to good rock and roll, good shows, how to put up a PA, how to put on a show. Right. That's what I can do. I have other opinions and I think I've informed in other ways, but not enough to tell you what to do. Not on anything outside of, hey, I'll throw up the biggest stacks you want. I'll bring as much heat as you want. You can put your foot on the pedal and hit the gas, and we can have a big fucking rock show and peel back some faces and hit some people in the chest with some serious omnidirectional waves. I got that part covered. Anything outside of that, it's a personal thing. It's really between you and your God and your belief system and your understanding of science and how you interpret these things, where you're getting your news from, what is informing you. So we should probably be careful with each other, because at the end of the day, it's people to people. That's the thing. Yeah. Somebody mentioned about America. America is a fucking great place, but it also has some down. I've been around the world. I can tell you this is pretty much every country you go to, that there's just 2 camps, maybe 3, 4 camps, depending on the country and the culture. And you kind of have to live and let be in many ways to be able to navigate these different things. And the best way I found to do it is to kind of keep certain things that are kind of hot buttons in reserve. That I can have full conversations with people. I do it every day at length, that never talk about those 4 things I mentioned before, because it's too personal. And I'm not trying to make enemies or piss somebody off or hurt their feelings or any of that shit. I'm just trying to fucking, when I got Pooch coming on who mixes on my show here in a minute, coming on, who mixes for Iron Maiden. And he's a dear friend, known him 30 years, is one of the big dudes in the game. I'll tell you what, Pooch has got his opinions. He's got his own show, and there's stuff I'm going to talk to him about, but it's going to be all rock and roll based. It's going to be like, what's your secret to getting your compression under control? It's going to be shit like that. I'm not going anywhere near any of
fairly. I think that every single person on here is well known enough to have had an interview about how they play their guitar or what inspired their music or whatever. Sure. And exactly. I like that we can hit these different issues and talk about them on a real level, and hope to God that we can have an opinion that may differ from somebody else and still keep respect with each other. And that's the key, because that's hard to do, right?
Well, sure. The thing about what we do as far as being musicians and entertainers and that is that we're supposed to take people away from their problems, not remind them of them.
Amen, brother.
That's a very good point. Okay, so I guess then maybe we will stay away from those things and just ask, do you guys see any hope for the industry in 2021? Do you see it
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, a lot of venues are going to be shut down, but people are starved for it. So as soon as shows start coming out again, I think that it's going to be huge. I think that once it opens back up, the
I
floodgates
think
are going
that
to
too.
open.
Yeah.
Well, an artist's job, and first of all, half of my record collection involves drugs, the other half involves some kind of sorrow, and that's where musical and creation comes from. A lot of the times, I've noticed. I was on the phone. We had Rick Allen on recently from Def Leppard. He's a dear friend. We got a side project we're doing with him called the Big Love Benefit Concert for raising money for people in the industry through Sweet Relief, and we were talking and. I think a lot of bands, you may remember that this last year was supposed to be Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett, and they didn't cancel that. They postponed it. So they're still planning to go out the end of or middle to end of and Disturbed. We had Disturbed, they were all going out, and we've had to pull our guys back and our gear back. But they're all planning to go out in mid to late summertime and just have the shows rebooked and redone. I think part of that is an effort to not have to give pre-ticket sales back, but also it's because and I also think there's a lot of artists at home that have been sitting with their guitars or whatever in hand, hopefully creating more music. So I'd like to imagine that when we come back, I'm going to have the shows that I already had booked that got canceled to do, and then some other new stuff with people bringing out new material. And luckily I got the gear to do it, but I imagine being very busy. Now that this, my crystal ball admittedly is cloudy. It's not it's not real clear, but that's the fingers crossed position I'm taking.
I think, yeah, everybody was on the verge of doing something freaking amazing this year and it getting cut short. And I just hear that all around the world, and it's so heartbreaking. So I really hope that
Yeah.
we can move forward in 2021 better than we did in 2020. I'm just not sure how that's going to all come about. And if we're forced to make these decisions about vaccines because we won't be able to travel, I mean, these are big.
Well, that's an easy choice. It's either take the shot or don't go on tour.
Well,
Right.
I'm taking the shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
I mean,
not be in the
honestly,
mix.
I'm not
Yeah.
like I'm not looking forward to it. I have reservations about it, but I'm not going to end my career by not taking it.
Do you feel the same way, Dan?
What's that?
Do you feel the same way? Will you take it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to, but when it comes down to either you're going to get the shot or not do the tour, I'm going to get the shot.
Right. Yeah. You, Dan?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I think that right there, just all of you saying, I don't know why Vince is waving. Maybe he's going bye-bye.
Oh, the great Greg Price is in my shop right now, who mixes for Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and he's leaving, so I was telling him bye-bye.
All righty. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, man.
That's all right. I guess it's a new year, and I'm really, really hopeful. I don't think it's going to be before maybe the fall that we see things come back. Maybe.
I hear you.
Is this a hopeful thing?
That's probably more likely. I mean, we're trying to be optimistic and throw out a branch to all these industry professionals that got to feed their families, and
Right.
so we know that this rollout, for example, on the vaccine could probably be. I'll tell you this: have you guys seen the commercial where it's a phone commercial, or maybe T-Mobile or something, where the roadies take over the airport and they fly the planes and they get the luggage out and shit? I make doors every fucking time. I've never not made doors, and so give the vaccines to us. We'll take care of it. We'll get this shit done and dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm really glad that more people are on the side of doing it and just getting on with it and accepting that this is a good thing. But I'm still hearing things from people like it's fake news, it's all a hoax, and that saddens me deeply, right?
Yeah.
It really does.
I mean, it's very obviously a real disease.
How can people? I heard three people say it this week.
It's not that obvious. Some people say it's not that obvious that it's a big.
Well,
it's a big
where I live, honestly, the numbers do not justify the shutdowns, but it's still a real disease, and there's still precautions need to be
But
taken.
okay, so you're saying the numbers don't justify. So at your local hospital, are they not overloaded with their current issues and then having to deal with COVID on top of it?
I've been looking up the numbers, and considering the amount of, like, I live in my county, there's well over 1 million people, and the numbers are very low. There's still hospital space. I live in Contra Costa County.
Okay.
It's not like they're close to being full, but as far as like from a county with what 1.2 million people or something, there's like 100 people that in the whole county that have it.
But when you're talking about ICU beds that need to be
no,
had,
I don't mean.
I mean, before you get to the point where we are now and our doctors are having to choose between people to put in ICU, that's what it's for, right? I think a lot of that is
politics, because if all they would have to do is ask the military to send a hospital ship like they were turned away before, it's like there's bad things going on in California. I agree that there needs to be precautions, that there is a real disease. But when you close every small business down and then turn around and supplement like Walmart with billions of dollars and Amazon with billions of dollars, there's no logic behind it. It's like you can a salon owner that sterilizes everything after everybody comes in is not allowed to go to work, but yet you could go cram 500 people into a Walmart. It's not like that. My point is that it's very arbitrary.
That's what disease does, Christian. That's what disease does. So you're talking about the difference between, let's say, LA County, where you got 9 million people in 40 square miles. And this is in a square block, if you imagine 40 square miles. And then you talk about Contra Costa County, which is a considerably larger county with less people. You're going to see less disease load.
Well, I'm talking about here, not LA,
Well, I'm talking about how the disease works and spreads. And so, of course, you're going to see in different areas, different concentrations of people that are dealing with it and having it differently. I don't think any doctor who takes the Hippocratic Oath wants to have to turn people away or triage folks.
It's not the doctors. It's the politicians that say this business can open, this business can't, this one can, this one can't. And I think that I just think it's done very arbitrarily, and it's killing small businesses everywhere.
It is, and that sucks, and it's happening all over Canada. But I mean, if we just made the rules blanket for everybody, you know what I mean? Because I know people who on New Year's Eve, I'm sitting in my house alone, crying, so sad that I cannot even go out and associate with a family member, go over to their house or face a fine. And there's people putting on 1,000-person show with no masks.
Well, not here.
So I mean,
how about we look at it a little differently? How about you look at it take the New Zealand example. That's politicians, and I couldn't agree with you more. Most of our politicians, they should be, wearing like those NASCAR suits to show who they're fucking funded by.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Okay, but look at New Zealand. Now they were able to do it because they're a fucking island and they have a small population. But it's an incredible. I'm sure you guys have been in New Zealand. It's an incredible place. It's got every kind of geography. It's amazing. But they also will listen and follow instruction when it's good for everybody. It might not be great for certain. It's kind of like the rule about
Americans don't do that.
Yeah, that's right. Because in America, the person that can be smart. I suspect that everybody involved in this meeting is a smart person, but people are stupid. That is proven time and time again. Yeah, when we get in the herd mentality, some dumb shit jumps off.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
As a guy that puts on shows for 80,000 people pretty regularly, I can tell you that I see it almost every time I go to goddamn work. So it's a thing. At the same time, in America, we believe in individualism. We believe in the separation of, as much as the idea of freedom. The definition of it actually has one definition, but the way we interpret it as Americans is very different from each other. I'll say this much. And when you go to a place and you see the deli, for example, prior to COVID, and it said, no shirt, no shoes, no service. Nobody fucked with that. They were like, oh, I better get my shoes on. You know, I better put my shirt on. I want a sandwich. I'm going to fucking do that. That's not a thing about, it's about the community, not the person. So sometimes to get something dealt with, that's what they did in New Zealand. They're throwing rock shows like a motherfucker right now. It's 30,000 people because they have zero caseload because they took the hard steps in the beginning, got it out of their country, got everybody healed up. Everybody's checking out good. Now they went back to business as usual. If we would take and make that sacrifice as Americans to just fucking button it up, act right for a minute, the shit would just naturally die off. That's the nature of a pandemic.
Yeah, but you know that
it should have been done last
Year.
like fucking last year, a year
Yeah,
ago,
yeah, I agree with you.
or
Liz.
at least
I agree with you.
or at least during the summer
Yep.
when all the cases went down was the time to shut it right off for 3 weeks.
Couldn't agree with you more. If the political will
That would have
wasn't
been,
there.
that would have been the time.
Well,
Not after the
like-
second caseload starts.
I
Forget
agree
it.
with you. Yeah. Here,
and
Harris.
it's not like our leaders have helped. When you
No,
see Newsom
not.
out at dinner with a bunch of people telling people not to go out, you know, and he's all, everything's shut down. Oh, but come to my winery, it's open. You know, it's
But hold on, it's a lot of this stuff from the politicians is just deflecting from the truth about how badly they failed the elderly of our society. It's
That's
absolutely disgusting. After the first part of the pandemic, and it killed that many elderly people, you don't fucking fix the problem.
Oh,
And
because
you let it go and
don't
wait
matter.
for the second thing to come, and then start worrying about it after it's already happening. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I hear this all the time. It's only killing the 2%. As a person who battles autoimmune and being in that 2% and just sloughed off like it doesn't matter, that's so sad, right? Our old people do matter. People stuck in nursing homes do matter. I mean, those lives matter. But
absolutely. I can't imagine anybody in this group right now would not agree with that. I can't imagine that. I would say, Christian, that Gavin Newsom has not, and not any one person, including myself, and I'm sure all of us have not had a moment where we weren't not thinking. I mean, fuck, we got muscle memory. We've been doing shit for so long a certain way.
well, yeah,
and,
no, sure.
it's hard to keep in the right the lane. You know, but Gavin Newsom, I will say this, and again, he's not perfect for damn sure. He's kind of a clown, frankly, but you know, and the little disparity between what he says and what he does is not that dissimilar to, say, the president, who's been holding multiple national 20,000 person strong rallies, no mask.
No, you're right. I'm not
So,
gonna.
I mean, and the fish dies from the head down, brother. It's that simple. The fish dies from the head down. So if you got this guy that many people believe is in the know and is the guy you should listen to, basically shitting all over the information that is the public information on what the science is. Well, of course, how can you blame them? They're a guy who keeps telling them to do this thing. This other guy saying do that thing. It's designed for chaos. What else was going to happen? Of course, this is what was happening.
No,
less
exactly.
than 2 minutes right now, guys. Yeah, it's gonna shut right off. But yep.
By the way, it was good seeing all you, Kelly. You look great, sweetie. I know that sometimes you struggle with health. I care about you. I follow you, and I wish that you were feeling better. If there's anything we can do here at Sound Image or beyond the Backstage Pass, please reach out. And you know, I got your back, and I appreciate what you do for our show.
Put on one of those face melting shows the minute that we can, everybody.
Oh, I'm so in. You got. Hey, listen. I'll bring the racks and stacks. I'll bring the heat. You guys bring the talent.
I've been just, you have no idea like how over ready I am to play.
What about you, Lips? You gonna come do a show with us?
I couldn't say. I don't know.
I sure hope so. What about you, Dan? You're close to me.
Also, I love Testament, by the way. Saw you guys many times. Wicked band.
Of course, right? Yeah. You guys well, I mean, that's what it's all about. Networking, people who might not have met before that are really, really cool. I know you didn't get a chance to say much. Sorry about that, Dan. But let's all keep in touch. Let's all work on something, see what we can do, you know?
Sounds good. Absolutely.
All right.
Well, great to see you, Christian, Lips, Dan, and Kelly, of course. Thank you for having me.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.